verdict in the Hernandez-Govan trial. In case you missed it, that verdict came out roughly around 10:45 this morning, and it was not guilty on both counts. Hernandez-Govan was accused of being the mastermind in the death of rapper Young Dolph. He is now a free man, free to go after 2 not guilty.
Hey, man, I'm keep this G, bro. Dolph, you a soft-ass nigga. You nice-ass nigga. If you got a problem, you got a problem. Shut ass nigga. Ain't no more king of me. If you ain't king of South Memphis.
Where you at,
Where
dog?
you at? See the last back? You see me? Dolph at, cuz.
Where you at, dog?
Where you at? Where you at? We in Castalia right now. We just left the store. Where you at?
Looks like the fire is burning inside the camp this time. Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti are at odds, and that's wild to a lot of people. Everybody remembers how Blac Youngsta used to ride for CMG and back Gotti heavy, especially during the whole Young Dolph situation. He was even out here throwing disrespect at Dolph after his tragic passing. But now the streets are buzzing. Blac Youngsta seems out of the camp, and fans can't stop asking what really happened, or if this could turn deadly. Let's break this down. Just a few days ago, Blac Youngsta went viral after scrubbing CMG from his bio and claiming he was rolling solo, independent. Now, most folks weren't shocked at first, since he pulls this move almost every year. Just last year, he did the same thing right before Yo Gotti's birthday, and still showed up at the party like nothing happened. But this time feels different, like it might be the real deal, with Youngsta officially cutting ties with CMG. And of course, the internet went crazy with wild theories about what went down. The first clues came from Youngsta himself when he hopped online and posted, "Play with me? I'ma take away everything that came out your mama. I swear to God. All my brothers gone, so why not? This house gonna get flipped upside down about me, dead or alive. But I stand on my own 10. That's why I get respect everywhere I step. I'm the realest dude you'll ever meet, and my people know that for sure." He kept going, saying he's the one holding everything together.
In case you missed it, that verdict came out roughly around 10:45 this morning, and it was not guilty on both counts. Hernandez-Govan was accused of being the mastermind in the death of rapper Young Dolph. He is now a free man, free to go after 2.
Loyalty, that's all we know. The house, don't ever go against the house. That's how my grandma raised me. God bless everybody. Then, Youngsta doubled down with another post. These dudes see before and still mislead the youth like they some mob bosses. Bro, I'm going to bed right now and it's 11 a.m. I'm sick of these dudes and I'm gonna lead by example. I'ma show them there's more to life. He put the blame on the fake OGs, the fake big homies, the fake big brothers, the fake CEOs, the fake teachers, the fake people in your life who don't tell you right from wrong. He even admitted, "I was once like you, and I'm not scared to say it. God put me here to help you deal with whatever you're going through." That first post had folks scratching their heads. It sounded real cryptic. But the second one, people swear it was aimed straight at Yo Gotti. Why? Because in interview after interview, and even in his music, Gotti always bragged about being inspired by mob bosses. Even his own name, Yo Gotti, comes from John Gotti, the infamous mafia boss of the Gambino family. But Youngsta wasn't finished. He later fired off, "Don't ask me about no dude you don't see me with. I don't let nobody I don't respect hang around me. For real, for real." And this was the exact same day he scrubbed CMG from his bio and claimed independence. So you know people were blowing up his phone, demanding answers about what's really happening with him and Gotti.
Say thank you to my attorneys, Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, my private investigators, and Manny still helped me, you know, and he knew I was innocent, everybody around me.
He kept it rolling, saying, 90% of the people you see me with, that's just business. Most of my real friends are dead and gone. I don't do new friends, for sure. That 1% you never see me with, we like real brothers. It's love, loyalty to the death with us. But truth be told, I'm done with the fake love and fake loyalty from certain people who've been faking too long. I'm cool with standing on my own. I'm cool knowing I put my trust in the wrong ones before. I wash my hands clean now. No more trying to make it look good. We either solid or we not. Either way, I'm cool. He didn't stop there. I'm not like your favorite rapper allegedly. I live what I rap. Whole time these dudes just sound good on songs. If I'm lying, God can take my soul in the next 5 minutes. No cap. Youngsta revealed he cut off a lot of people he once thought were solid. They either petty, yes men, snakes, disloyal, ungrateful, don't believe in God like me, or think they bigger than the program. That had fans digging even deeper, asking, why now? Why did Blac Youngsta finally step away from CMG? One theory floating heavy online ties it back to the Young Dolph case. Recently, Hernandez Govan, the man prosecutors called the mastermind behind Dolph's murder, was found not guilty.
G, bro. Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, you got a problem. Shut ass nigga. Ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city.
On August 21st, 2025, Hernandez Govan was cleared of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy. Prosecutors had claimed Govan was the middleman for Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother, who allegedly dropped a $100,000 hit on Dolph and even put bounties on paper route Empire artists. But when Big Jook was killed back in January 2024, before the trial even started, a huge piece of the case fell apart. That left a vacuum in the courtroom, and now Govan is walking free. Some fans believe that this acquittal flipped the whole game. With that legal pressure gone, maybe it gave Blac Youngsta the green light to finally make his move. At the same time, though, it leaves the biggest question still dangling. Who really ordered the hit on Young Dolph? Another angle fans are talking about is how Youngsta never stopped dissing Dolph, even after his death, and how that trolling could have ended up backfiring if police decided to use it against him. Word on the street is Gotti wasn't happy at all about Youngsta clowning Dolph after he passed, especially with people tied to Gotti already suspected of having connections to the case. On top of that, CMG's name kept getting dragged through the mud in the whole situation. So when Youngsta mocked Dolph's death right after it happened, it made Gotti and CMG look real bad. And if you rewind, everybody remembers Blac Youngsta was front and center in that Dolph versus Gotti beef.
Yeah, see the left back. You see me? Dolph at, cuz.
Where you at, Dolph?
Where you at? Where you at? We in Castalia right now. We just left the store. Where you at right now?
Unlike Gotti, who kept his shots more low-key, Youngsta went all in with the disrespect. He straight up said he was gonna slap Dolph. Hey man, I'ma keep this, bro. Dude ain't from the city. When Dolph saw the clip, he brushed it off like it was nothing, just dropping a laughing emoji and a thumbs down, like he wasn't taking Youngsta seriously. But Youngsta wasn't bluffing. He actually pulled up to Dolph's hood in Castalia, strapped with heavy weapons, looking for him. Once that clip went viral, Dolph clapped back on Instagram, calling out both Youngsta and Gotti, saying they were playing police games, trying to set him up to get locked up instead of settling things in the streets. From there, Youngsta kept the pressure on. He dropped 2 diss tracks, Shake Some, and I'm Assuming.
So
How do you know that Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head?
I could quit and told me about it.
How much money was it supposed to be?
100,000 on Dolph.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
And right after Dolph was killed, Youngsta even performed Shake Some at a Dallas nightclub. Fans weren't feeling that at all. They thought it was insanely disrespectful given the timing. But instead of falling back, Youngsta doubled down. He went on to shoot a whole music video for I'm Assuming and filmed it in a graveyard. In the video, he's rapping right in front of a tombstone that read Thornton, which everybody knew was a shot at Dolph's real last name. That move sparked massive backlash, leaving people stunned he'd take it that far, especially so soon after Dolph's death. But Youngsta didn't seem to care one bit. Youngsta fired back at the backlash on Instagram saying, I'm the type of dude who ain't never sat back looking for sympathy. I come straight out the heart of South Memphis where sympathy don't even exist. With that being said, I could care less what the world thinks about me. But that attitude only made things worse. Fans felt it came off cold-blooded and flat-out disrespectful, especially since Dolph was so loved in Memphis and way beyond. Now, with all the pieces lining up, people are really starting to wonder, could the tension between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti actually turn deadly?
Thing that I know for sure, and I've been knowing it for a long time, You kill your haters with success.
Some folks think it's possible. Even Youngsta himself admitted in interviews that he and Gotti would bump heads constantly because Gotti thought he moved too reckless. And let's be real, Youngsta is reckless. Meanwhile, Gotti has serious pull in the streets. So if they don't figure out a way to coexist, fans fear this could spiral into something way darker. There's even talk going around that Blac Youngsta might end up flipping and snitching. You know how it goes. Once the common enemy is gone, the crew starts turning on each other. And in this case, that common enemy was Young Dolph. Now that he's gone, a lot of people feel like that's exactly what's happening between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti. We already saw a piece of this during the trial. Cornelius Smith, one of the alleged shooters, ended up turning into the prosecution's star witness. He flat out identified himself and Justin Johnson in the surveillance footage from the scene. On top of that, he testified it was Big Jook, Yo Gotti's own brother, who put that $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head.
Happened to you, they have epiphanies. They have like life-changing moments. Just want to ask, has your worldview changed at all after what's happened to you?
Not really.
According to Cornelius, Hernandez Govan was the one pulling the strings. He supposedly had ties to CMG and acted as the middleman. But the defense came at Cornelius hard, painting him as a straight-up pathological liar, which played a big part in Govan walking free. Then, there was Justin Johnson's half-brother, Jamarcus Johnson. Back in June 2023, he pled guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact. Basically, he admitted he helped his brother hide out after the murder, and as part of his plea deal, he might even be forced to testify against his own blood. His lawyer insisted Jamarcus had no idea about the murder beforehand and wasn't involved when it went down, that he only stepped in after. But still, that's a textbook case of snitching to dodge a long sentence. It exposed the cracks in loyalty loud and clear. Now with Govan walking free, the state's main theory about who actually ordered the hit has completely crumbled, leaving a massive hole in the case and sparking even more suspicion and tension among people who were once supposed to be allies.
Memphis. You know what I mean? I help a lot of rappers from Memphis. You trying to get a verse or something from me, you know? I don't know if I, probably think.
Everybody's asking the same thing. Who really pulled the strings? And who's gonna take the fall next? Govan's acquittal shocked a lot of Young Dolph fans, especially since so many people believed he had a real hand in it. Folks are furious, pointing out how relentless these people were in trying to take Dolph out, and now one of the so-called masterminds is just walking free. For those who don't know, there were multiple attempts on Dolph's life before they finally succeeded. The first big one went down in 2017 during CIAA weekend in Charlotte. Dolph's SUV got lit up with over 100 bullets in broad daylight, just blocks away from the arena where the basketball championship was happening. It was straight chaos. Multiple cars got hit, shell casings were everywhere, and the streets were left looking like a war zone. There were even rumors floating that Dolph had already bulletproofed his truck before that shooting went down. And that's the only reason he survived. It almost felt like Dolph knew trouble was coming from Yo Gotti's camp. At the time, 3 men got arrested in connection with that wild shooting: Blac Youngsta, Frederick Black, and Avius Gardner. They were all slapped with multiple charges, including firing into occupied property and conspiracy. But when Dolph was asked about the arrests, he barely flinched. He didn't look bothered at all. He stayed focused on leveling up and shining even harder in front of his enemies. Right after the shooting, he even hit the stage performing his Gotti diss track, Play With Yo B, and then he doubled down, dropping 3 records inspired by the whole situation: 100 Shots, In Charlotte, and Bulletproof. In the end, the charges against Blac Youngsta got dropped. Court docs revealed the only real evidence tying him to the crime was a suspect vehicle, one that had been rented in his name. Court docs made it clear there was no proof Blac Youngsta was even driving that rental or inside it when the shots rang out. But it wouldn't be long before the second attempt on Dolph's life went down, just months later, this time outside the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood. That one nearly killed him.
Team, you got this, you got that. You're like, bro, I'm telling you, we can do this, we can do that. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Starlito. I ain't gotta babysit you like them. It's my first time meeting you. You gonna really sit and downplay your artists and throw your artists up on the bus to try to persuade me in to come over there? No, it's just, I can't respect.
Dolph got into a fight with 3 men in the valet area, got knocked to the ground, and then someone pulled a gun and shot him multiple times. He was rushed straight into surgery and survived, but it was clear. Somebody really wanted him gone. Witnesses said the suspects opened fire, and LAPD even named Yo Gotti as a person of interest based on what people at the scene told them. A man named Corey McClendon, one of Gotti's close associates, was arrested near the area. Cops even tracked down a gold Escalade that was tied to the suspects. But just like before, the charges didn't stick. McClendon walked free, and nobody's ever been officially charged for that shooting either. Yet even after coming that close to death, Dolph didn't flinch one bit. He wasn't shaken at all. In fact, folks spotted him strolling around solo not long after like nothing ever happened. All Dolph cared about was securing the bag and leveling up, no matter what. And then came the darkest chapter of all, the actual murder of Young Dolph, the moment that shook hip-hop to its core. It went down in broad daylight, right in his hometown of Memphis. Dolph had pulled up to Makita's homemade cookies, a spot he was known to hit often to show love and support. That's when it all happened. 2 masked gunmen ambushed him outside the shop, firing multiple shots before speeding off in a getaway car. The whole tragedy was caught on surveillance cameras, and just like that, Memphis lost one of its most respected voices. What followed was a citywide manhunt that had everybody on edge. Eventually, police arrested 23-year-old Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop, and 32-year-old Cornelius Smith. Both were hit with charges for Dolph's murder. And of course, you can't talk about Young Dolph's death without going back to where it all started, the beef between him and Yo Gotti. Now, if you ask Gotti, he claims he's just as puzzled as everyone else. In multiple interviews over the years, he's insisted there was never any real bad blood between him and Dolph. Gotti even said he supported Dolph's come-up. He even pulled out receipts, showing a text message he sent to Dolph back in August 2012, filled with love, encouragement, and respect, at least according to Gotti himself. The only thing Gotti's ever guessed might have sparked tension was the fact he didn't jump on a track with Dolph when asked. Other than that, he swears he's just as confused as the public about why things spiraled the way they did. From his side, there was never any real animosity. At least that's how Gotti tells it. But if you flip the mic over to Young Dolph, his story paints a whole different picture. Dolph explained that back in 2012, when he was finally gaining serious traction in Memphis and getting love far beyond the city, Yo Gotti reached out with an offer, a deal to join his label, CMG. At that time, Gotti was already a powerhouse name, both in Memphis and nationwide. Linking up with him would have been a massive move for any artist trying to come up. But for Dolph, things didn't play out that simple. But Dolph said he turned that deal down, and that's when things started heating up. It wasn't just the offer itself, though. It was the way Gotti delivered it that rubbed Dolph the wrong way. According to Dolph, Gotti basically downplayed his own artists while pitching, saying they weren't really that good, that they constantly needed guidance, and that Dolph was different. Reportedly, Gotti told him something along the lines of, "You don't need all that. You could be a superstar with me." But Dolph wasn't feeling it. To him, it sounded like Gotti was throwing his own team under the bus just to lure him in. That kind of energy? Dolph wasn't rocking with it. He didn't like the politics, and he definitely didn't like the disrespect, so it made him back away from doing any business with Gotti at all. But there's another twist to this whole story. Dolph also claimed he had a relationship with Yo Gotti's baby mama, and when Gotti found out, that's when the real beef supposedly lit up. Dolph never went too deep into details, but he said the proof was right there in the cover art for his infamous diss track, Play With Yo B. The cover art for Play With Yo B said it all. It showed a phone screen filled with missed calls, allegedly from Gotti's baby mama blowing up Dolph's line. Now let's rewind for some context. Back in 2010, Yo Gotti was really starting to break into the mainstream. His track 5 Star, featuring Gucci Mane, Trina, and Nicki Minaj, was charting heavy and putting major eyes on him. Memphis had a new star on the rise, and Gotti was repping the city hard. Meanwhile, Dolph was just stepping onto the scene. He had dropped his second mixtape, Welcome to Dolph World, and his buzz was starting to build, especially with co-signs from Atlanta heavyweights like Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, and OJ Da Juice Man. He wasn't a superstar yet, but the momentum was clearly there. By 2012, the landscape had shifted. Yo Gotti was already solidified in the industry, but Dolph was catching up quick and becoming a serious force. That's when Gotti reached out to Dolph about doing a community show in Memphis, an event aimed at uplifting the youth. There's actual footage of that event, Yo Gotti and Dolph sharing the same stage. It's the only known clip of the two ever performing together, and in that moment, it looked like they were cool, maybe even allies. That show went down in August 2012, the same time Gotti allegedly tried to pitch Dolph on signing with CMG. According to Gotti, August 24th, 2012 was the very last time he and Dolph ever spoke. After that, there's no record of them ever having another conversation or collaboration. On the surface, it seemed like everything was still good. But behind the scenes, it was already shifting. Subliminal shots started flying, and things just kept getting uglier until the beef turned deadly. Multiple attempts were made on Dolph's life, and it all ended in tragedy with his murder. After that, the streets took their revenge. Anyone who had even the slightest tie to Dolph's death or dissed him ended up gone, including Yo Gotti's brother and Blac Youngsta's brother. And now, with Blac Youngsta officially out of CMG, everybody's on edge, waiting to see what's going to happen next. If you've been locked in with this story, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this.